Good morning, it's day 83 and I forgot to hit record again. It's morning. Anyway, we're at the village farmer just waiting for our breakfast. I got some peaches and the blueberry Danish for the trail, hot coffee. We got apple pie and hot dog. That's just having for breakfast.
Yeah, some sort of combo. I don't know if they mushed them together, if they come separately.
And I'm getting, I don't know, something smothered with something. I don't know. It sounded really good. So that's what I'm gonna have for breakfast, nice big breakfast, and then we'll get started in Wind Gap. We're here in Delaware Water Gap. So you pass by this place right on the trail, so I highly recommend checking it out. And I think we're planning to do a 15-mile day on the rocks. So for now, we're just gonna have breakfast. I'm having the village farmer breakfast sandwich, sweet and savory, yummy. It's raisin French toast, egg, 2 eggs, and sausage, and syrup. And it is delicious, and probably at least, I don't know, 800 calories, if more. But I'm a thru hiker. I can eat it, and I'm gonna. Okay, so we're back at the trailhead. A janky little trailhead, I might add. We go under a pretty busy little highway with under a bridge, and then suddenly they check you up the hillside. But I guess it gets us on the trail. Alrighty, so it's getting much warmer out. Had breakfast, coffee, relaxed. We're heading out. So we're doing 15.4 miles today. And I've got a feeling today the terrain is, I should say the elevation is flat. The terrain, I think it's just going to be straight up rocks. That's pretty much the terrain for what I've read anyway, for the next 150 miles. And I think we have about 250 miles in total for Pennsylvania. So a few number of miles, but definitely gonna be rocky. So that's why they call it Rocksylvania. So let me show you. So right now, like I said, just starting on the trail. Not too bad. But you get these tiny little spots of nice, you don't have to look too heavily on your feet, and then you're going to get massive sections where it's just straight up concentration on your feet, lest you fall on your behind. So let's get going. Okay, so this is just the top of the ridge here that I'm going to be running. I know I said it was flat today. Well, what I didn't mention was you still have to climb up to 1,500 feet to get to the ridge where you're going to be running along flatly. So now I've climbed that and I'm all nice and sweaty. You can see the rocks below me there. That's what awaits me today. So that's my trail right now. And I'm going to be doing a lot of rock hopping, but there'll be no water underneath because right now Pennsylvania in general, probably for the next 250 miles, is and has been pretty dry. It's the end of summer, so most of these areas are dry. So again, you got to bring the extra water carry and a little extra weight of water, but you're carrying less food because you're pretty much hitting a town every 15-20 miles, so you can get food. You don't have to worry about that so much, but you definitely do need to carry the water because it's a hot day. It's about 28 degrees Celsius, so mid 80s, I guess. Humidity's not too bad, but there's not much wind in the green tunnel, so you definitely do feel very, very sweaty. And you huff and you puff and you sweat out all your water, so you definitely need to hydrate with your electrolytes and whatnot. But anyway, gonna get started. So we're a couple miles in at this point, I think about 3 miles in. We are coming up along a power line area, which is not uncommon in here. There's quite a few of them. But I passed by a northbound section hiker who warned me that there was a rattlesnake close to the trail sunning itself on the rocks. So now that was a little over a mile ago. So hopefully it's no longer there. It could be there. I'm about 0.2 miles away from the power line cut. So we'll see what happens when we get there. But needless to say, I'm a little anxious because, you know, rattlesnakes. Obviously, you know, you can go around them and whatnot, and they will warn you because they don't want you near them either. But, so we'll just see what happens when we get there. Okay, well, I just passed the power cut line, and there were some people sitting on the rocks enjoying the view, and I had asked them if they had seen the rattlesnake, and they had not. In fact, they didn't know anything about it. So I'm assuming it probably took off not long after that fellow passed it. So I was happy that there were extra people there and that the snake was not. Because had it just been me by myself and no other people, I certainly would have scanned the area and smashed my poles a bit just to, you know, alert any animal that I was there. But since they were already there, if there were any animals, it would have noticed it by now and, you know, rattled its little tail, but there was not. So that brings down the anxiety a little bit. And we're gonna continue on. All right, well, let's get moving. And you can see this is still my trail. It has not changed any. Rocks, and more rocks. So I won't film too much of that because I have to pay very close attention to my feet, otherwise I will trip. Okay, so I'm just stopping for a little snack here. Come here, cheese, blueberry Danish. About 6.5 miles in. All right, it's definitely time for a snack. Bugs are kind of out in this area. And that's pretty much it. We're gonna eat and then get trucking. Encountered this little guy. He's not very big. He startled me. He didn't move very much. He's just hanging out, doing a snaky thing.
Sneaky thing.
Okay, not sure what kind he is, but I'm gonna look it up.
Let's go poke him with a stick.
No, I don't think he wants to be poked. But he doesn't look keen on moving. Okay, we're just getting close, probably the last half mile. We've changed from Rocky Oak area to Rocky Pine area. And now we're going downhill. We're getting much closer to the highway because it's getting loud. And then that'll be it for the 15.5 mile day. Or 4, I don't know, 15 something. Good morning. We are on day 84, I'd like to believe. I think so. Sounds about right. And we are doing 19.4 miles today in lovely Rocksylvania. It looks pretty decent today, actually. Yesterday was a good day, but I gotta say these rocks, they're getting hard on the feet. I'm not used to we're used to rocks and roots all the time, but this consistency of hard rock underneath and the edges that you have to keep walking on to maintain your balance, pretty intense. So it does get to the feet after a bit, and it's not a good kind of massage. But that being said, it should be a decent day. We definitely do have some elevation today. There's a big dip in the middle of, well, I guess the first third of the trail. It goes down, I think, about almost 1,000 feet and then back up. So that'll be fun. But the weather's nice. It's sunny. It should be a little overcast today. Probably a little muggy like it was yesterday, but not too bad. It's definitely, you can tell, the fall weather starting to slowly creep in. But so far the bugs are good, and it should be a really nice day for hiking. It's definitely another area that has no water, so I'm definitely got extra water on me today. Pennsylvania is known to be dry in the summer months anyway, so this is no exception. And I wanted to mention from yesterday, that little snake that we saw, it was a baby snake, to be fair. But there's definitely a lot of snakes in Pennsylvania. Was not expecting that. So if any of you know what kind of snake that was, because I was trying to figure it out, and if I'm correct, and I hope I'm not, it actually was a baby copperhead. And if that's the case, that is a venomous snake. Although, I gotta be fair, it was really cute. It wasn't aggressive. Jeff sort of, tapped his pole closer to it, and it just slithered away. Didn't try to do anything or anything, but I mean, it is still one of the poisonous snakes, of which there are only 2 on the East Coast, that and the rattler, which we've had the opportunity to experience both. And to be fair, even if you get bit by a snake, you're not going to die instantly. I mean, you don't do any of those things that TV told you to do, like suck out the venom or put a tourniquet or something silly like that. No, you just go to the hospital. Most snakes don't give you enough venom right off the bat to kill you. For the amount of snake bites that occur in the States, there are very few deaths. I'm probably more likely to die out here from dehydration at this point, which is odd considering all the rain and wetness I have had. But neither of those are going to be happening today. So we're going to continue on, and I'll just give you an example of what I'm running on today. And Rocksylvania does not disappoint. Look at those rocks, aren't they a beauty? This is going to be my trail for the better part of probably 19.4 miles today. These ones aren't bad because there's some big flat sections, which is nice. And it looks like they've actually tried to position them that way. So the trail maintenance, thank you very much, has done a great job. But that'll only be the beginning section. After that, it's just going to be a free-for-all. And my little feetsies are going to feel it. And probably destroy my shoes in no time flat. But anyway, let's get going. Okay, just gotta say, the people who do trail maintenance are awesome in certain sections, because to put the rocks flat like this And to create stairs in a mountain of that takes a lot of work. And they have done an amazing job in this section, at least in the beginning. So I gotta say, kudos to you guys here in Pennsylvania. And I did put a picture of the the name of the group because it's totally escaped me, even though I took a picture of it, of who does this maintenance. So kudos to you and thank you, because these little stairs you put in here, awesome, makes this part of the journey uphill so much nicer. Okay, I got a nice little section of the trail, but what I wanted to point out, because I'm starting to take a few pictures of it, is you can see this is actually a nice little young forest section, but the leaves are changing. So it was bound to happen, but I mean, it's Labor Day weekend, next weekend, and the leaves are falling slowly. So it's going to hopefully be a beautiful fall on the way down. I'm actually really looking forward to that. I like fall. But it means that summer is over pretty much. I mean, not officially. We're still technically in summer. But my leaves are changing. Going to get some color. The bugs are going to go away. At least that's the dream. All right, let's continue on. Okay, so the trail is just kind of running on this ridge, and we can see this little town down here, which looks kind of old industrial. I don't think maybe it's still functioning. Oh well, actually the smokestacks are still going. This is the town of Palmerton, Pennsylvania. So it's, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it would be a much prettier view if the clouds weren't so low, but that is the view right now. And that's the trail. So you can see that this doesn't have a lot of large trees on it. It's a relatively young area. Okay, I just got to point this out. Yes, this is a picture of scat. It is probably bear scat. But I just got to say, and there's been quite a bit of bear scat, how well that this animal has pooed perfectly on top of the rock. And that seems to be a theme. They do that. They just on the middle of a rock. They could poop anywhere else, but no, they choose to poop there. Anyway, there's definitely bear activity, obviously, in this area. But they seem to be getting enough food because I haven't seen much of them, and there's always plenty of seeds in that scat. So there you go. Okay, this is my trail off the mountain. It's all just solid big rocks. But I will commend the people who are putting white paint on, because they put lots on, because it gets really hard to find the trail and stuff like this. So happy about that. And then there's the river down and off to the town of Palmerton. All right, we got to go down, and then I think the trail goes back up that mountain and then kind of skirts the ridge top, but to be honest, I'm not entirely sure. Okay, yes, I'm going all the way down there, and yes, that actually is looking as steep as it's supposed to. And then I think I have to cross, well, I know I have to cross that bridge at some point. So I think that'll be the bridge I cross. Alrighty, let's get down there and pray that our ankles maintain. Okay, this looks way easier to go up than down, because obviously this is like straight down. I couldn't go down because my legs aren't 20 feet tall. I had to go around the backside and come in, because I didn't feel comfortable coming down there, and I don't have long legs, and I'm really happy the rocks are dry. Anyway, I'm going to continue on down this cliff. Okay. Okay, I just came off the mountain up there, and this is a very confusing intersection. I end up started going the wrong direction, but I check my GPS when I don't know what I'm doing, and thankfully it told me I was going the wrong way, despite all the signs here saying wrong way, but I got to get across the bridge. So I think I'm going the right way now. Not feeling the love of the traffic, I might add, but I don't know why they didn't send you down and cross this set of lights and send you up and back down. Whatever. It's the AT. I think I'm in the right direction now, because I got to cross that bridge over there. All right. Okay, I think this is Lehigh. I probably pronounced that wrong. River that I'm passing over this bridge. I came down off that hill, which is rocky as all can be. But yeah, it's staying a nice overcast day. I'm liking it. As long as it doesn't rain, we're good. All right. We still got another, I think we're at about 15 point something miles in of our 19 days, so we got lots to go. That is the first decent source of clean water I've seen in quite some time. Impressive. Okay, it's one of the older shelters here, but it looks pretty intact. Nice little fire pit. And the water source was just below here, so not too far. Looks pretty solid. Not very big, but definitely if you're needing a shelter, this looks pretty solid. I don't need to be here, so I'm just going to keep on going. But it's nice that the shelter's actually on the trail. A lot of them have been a bit in the distance, so nice to see one on. All right, let's continue up the rest of our 1,000-foot climb. Okay, so I made it to the top, and this is actually a pretty good view. Looks like a quarry pit over there, and some other town. I don't know if you can actually see that. But we're about 6.5 miles in. Definitely lots of industrial in the bottom. I don't know if you can see any of that, and kind of farms in the background. We're just kind of up on this ridge right now, and this is a tent site. So I figured this would be a good place to have my snack because I'm hungry and I'd like to sit down now. Okay, so I guess in Pennsylvania, at least in this area, you are allowed to hunt. And what I've read is that in hunting, official hunting season, you are required, all people who walk through here are required to wear the fluorescent orange so you are not accidentally mistaken for something. So I guess it's good that I already got my fluorescent shorts on, but I don't plan to be hiking through here in hunting season. And that's a shame because there's actually been a lot of deer. Well, not today, but yesterday there was a lot of deer through here. And lots of bears for sure. I've seen the bear poop. But I guess you can hunt the Appalachian Trail, at least in Pennsylvania. Okay, so there's a nice big snake. I can see it's sitting on his butt, his tail, or head. He looks like a deflated tire. But he's a non-poisonous snake, so we're just going to let him be. And
Oh, we're gonna bother the poisonous ones?
we're not going to bother any of them.
Smoke him with a stick.
No, he's sleeping. Let's let him sleep. Okay, this is on the top of Nice Edge, and this is some Pennsylvania farmland. Okay, so I think we got about 3.5 miles left, and Jeff's feeling a little tired since he got stung by another hornet and took some Benadryl. So we're gonna try to get out of here as safely as possible and call it a day. Okay, so just to update you, we finished our 19.4 mile day. Jeff got stung a second time going through those rocks. Oh, those rocks are just brutal on the feet, and yeah, after the second one we just tried to book it out of there as fast as we could. So we made good time, but we decided we would take our zero for tomorrow instead of Wednesday when we originally were going to, because it's been 10 days since we took a day off, a full actual day off, not hiking 15 miles and calling it a zero. So we're not going to hike at all tomorrow. So we are now at a hotel, so we're just showering up. We're gonna go find some food and we'll do some resupply. We don't have a whole lot of resupply to do, but we do need a few things like snacks for tomorrow to do nothing, because that's the plan, to do nothing. Maybe find a gear store or something, I don't know, because there's a few things I do need to pick up. But other than that, that is it for tonight. So good night.